Welcome, everyone. Welcome, 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 welcome. It is such a beautiful day today. I can see the reds from the sunrise on the wall as it, pops out through my window. It is glorious. Remember, today is going to be a very hot day. Allegedly. For us, 34 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit because I'm not downstairs to look at the thermostat. My thermostat is set to Fahrenheit. And let me tell you something. It was 87 degrees in the house yesterday. And I'm okay with that. My sourdough is hungry, so I got to feed it. But there's always work to be done. Work, work. You know how it is, right? But now that that song is in your head, ever so slightly, here's the work that is required. Remember last night, the lecture, Time to Act? Remember, faith without works is dead. But what is the work? You see, this is the thing that gets everybody stuck. Well, what's the work I'm supposed to do? The work is, if you have a problem, see the solution in your mind's eye. That is the work. That is the action that you take. And like I started to tell you last night, and I said, let me leave it for today. The steps of a righteous man are ordered by God. Listen, this has nothing to do with whether you believe in the scripture or not. I'm not here to tell you to believe in scripture. I'm here to tell you where I see the law in scripture. What are the principles? What are the laws? Mentalism. The all is mind. The universe is a mental creation. Correspondence, as within, so without, as above, so below. Above is within, below is without. Everything vibrates, it moves, nothing stands still. And it is moving from where it is to where it is going in the pendulum swing of polarity. They look like they're opposites, but they are not. One is just on the left, so where you are is on the left, and where you're going is on the right. Or where you're leaving is the right, and where you're going is the left. But either way, it is the swing of the pendulum. But that swing has a particular rhythm to it. It moves in a pattern, a habitual way, which causes us to act and brings about an effect, because every cause has its effect and every effect is cause. But then finally we land upon the principle or the law of gender. Meaning what? Remember the law of correspondence, as within, so without. Nothing stays within because it moves, yes? So the thing that is projected outward, the idea that is projected outward from you, is masculine. It goes out and it impregnates. Well, that is feminine. And once the surroundings, meaning you, have been impregnated with your desire, it must gestate and come forth for you. This is why scripture tells you, my word shall not return unto me void. It's telling you the projection, the masculine, goes out and then it comes back. So invisible masculine that is projected outward goes into the womb and it comes back as visible. You see, those are the principles that govern all. And they come from the all. Now we like to name the all God, yes? But the problem with that is, if you've been hurt by the church, you now see God in a tainted light. But God is not a man that it should lie. God is formless, shapeless. It is just there. And it gives you every single thing you require. Why did the all give you everything? Because it is everything and it can only give itself. It is only itself that it can give. So it can't give you a piece. It can't give me a piece. It can only give all of us all of itself, because it cannot be broken and fractured. But it can only put all of its essence and itself within everything that we see around us. So you see, the work that it charges us to do is the work that it does. Why? Because we can only do what it does, because it is the only thing acting in the first place. Yeah, but my name is George. How can the all be acting? Because without the all in you, George cannot be. So you are not separate, but you have your individuality. It is not lost. You have your individuality, and you will keep your individuality. Why? Because the all is in all of us. And the all sees the world through us. Not because it doesn't know it. It is the all. It knows everything. It is everywhere. But you see, we struggle to get our minds around that. And that is what we contemplate. That is what we sit in those quiet moments and we say, wait, what? The all is in me? I am? What? Really? Oh, I would like to understand. I would like to comprehend it. And do you know something? Ask, and you shall receive. Why? It is not a saying that we just say. Ask, and you shall receive. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and the door shall be opened. Those are not sayings. Those are principles. Which ones? Cause and effect. You would not ask if there wasn't a question. And you cannot ask a question without having an answer, because every cause has its effect, and every effect is cause. You cannot seek unless you are trying to find. And you cannot find unless you are seeking. And listen, when you knock, somebody is always there to answer. Why? Because you would not be knocking if you were not seeking what was behind that door. So that's why when you ask, you receive. But does that mean I have to open my mouth and ask a question? No. Go back to the law of gender. The moment you become aware of the question you want to ask, it has been projected. It is masculine. You are aware of it. You've asked it. At the moment you become aware, you have asked the question. And the inevitable thing is the answer comes. You don't have to force the answer. The answer emerges because you had a question. Period. So you see, creation is not something that is forced. It happens as a result of cause and effect. Light emerged. Why? Because there was darkness. Darkness is not bad. Hallelujah. I hear you. Darkness is not bad. Light emerges from. You understand? Let there be light came as a result of, oh, look, there's darkness. Well, then, let me have light. It wasn't forced. It was simply commanded. Let there be light. And there was. So you see, the next time you hear about scripture, don't scoff. The principles of creation are there. That's why you hear, let those who have eyes to see. Let them see. Who have ears to hear, let them hear. right? So what is the work? Because we keep hearing, he's working hard this morning. Oh, he is working hard and he's going to love that watermelon. I tell you. Listen, the work that we do, the action that we take is to do what? If you have a problem, what is the solution? Remember the law of causality, cause and effect, causation. Every cause has its effect, and every effect its cause. So if you have a problem, you have a solution. But if you complain, if you moan and you cry, where is the solution? You can't see it because you're not looking. Become aware of the solution and it will present itself to you. Oh, but that's so easy. That can't possibly work. So when you go out to the garden and you put the seed in the ground, listen, it doesn't matter how hot it is outside. You plant your seeds according to who grows best in the shade, and you know where the shady side is of the house. In the garden, you know where it is. And you plant the things that need that direct heat. You plant them where there's direct heat. You see, you plant according to the thing that you're planting. The action that you need to take will always present itself as a result of. As a result of. So do you have to force? No. But you work. And what is the work? We're going to break that work down. Without faith, the work is dead. Faith without works is dead. What is faith? Oh my God. This thing is happening in my life. So if I do this, I have the solution. If I do this, things will change. That is faith. The knowing that what you do will bring about what it is you're looking for in the result. That's the faith. So what's the work? To imagine. Imagine. What am I, 3? What am I, 4? Imagine. That's for children. Is it? What do you think you're doing? Listen, I met a very incredible person yesterday. I was treating him and and he was saying to me, Angela, how am I supposed to change that? I can feel it rising up within me and I get so mad and I yell at my kids. And I said, it's natural. I said, but you feel it when it's coming on, right? And you begin to think of something, don't you? He said, yeah, I can see it clear as day. I said, thank you. You can see it clear as day. I said, now, and then he says to me, but you know, something funny happens to me when I go in the yard. He goes, I feel so free. I said, but get this, you don't have to go into the yard to feel free. You can feel free anywhere. He goes, really? I can? I said, yes. He goes, how do I do that? I said, just picture yourself in the garden. I said, you could be sitting on the potty, but you're in the garden and the feeling of freedom. I said, why don't you try it right now? He goes, yeah, but you're right. I said, I'm not trying to be right. I said, how about you practice that? Practice and tell me what happens. You know, and he looks at me. He goes, I don't know. I said, you're already doing it. And I said to him, when you do it and it works, I'm the first person you're going to call. He goes, yeah. I said, I'm the first one you're going to call. You see, we as people do not believe that what we are doing is already following the principles. We don't know that we are following them because we are unaware of their existence. We think that life just happens willy-nilly. Somebody asked a question this morning in Reddit talking about why is that randomness so important for manifestation? I said, wait, what? Randomness? Where would you get this idea of randomness? There's nothing random. The law is not random. The law is ordered. The law is ordered. It is not random. Cause and effect are telling you it's not random. Rhythm is telling you it's not random. Correspondence is telling you it is not random. Where is it random? As within, so without. That's not random at all. As within, maybe you get it on the outside. That would be random, and that would cause great chaos. If you planted watermelon and got beets, you'd be like, wait a minute, but that's not what I did. You see? You can only do what you contain. You can only get what you are, because there is no randomness. This is why when you hear you never get what you want, you always get what you are. Remember Neville said, don't parrot things. Don't just repeat it because you've heard it. Comprehend what is being said. The only reason why you cannot get what you want and you will only ever get what you are, why? Because as within, so without. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. You can't say anything otherwise. So when you look at your life and you say, oh my God, why is that happening to me? Because you put it there. But I'm not telling you put it there because I want to browbeat you. I'm telling you put it there and you can change it. That's what I'm saying to you. Don't look at what's in your life and kick it and go, oh my God. No, look at it as the evidence of what you are. So if you do not like the present evidence of what you are, well then, begin to experience in imagination. Here's your work. Begin to experience in your imagination what you would experience in reality if you change. So if you walk around and your shoulders are slumped and your posture is a little questionable and you can't look anybody in the eye and you feel ashamed of yourself, oh, you don't like that? Well, then begin in your mind's eye to see yourself with a swagger. Oh, and the minute you start seeing yourself with a swagger, what? Tell me what you feel like. There's a pep in your step. Oh, you can feel that, can't you? You're like, this is nice. And you see, you haven't done a single thing on the outside yet, have you? Nope. But you got the feeling. I got a feeling, right? You got the feeling. And all you did was experience the feeling in imagination. But what happens? Remember the principle. As within, so without. This is why the steps of a righteous, what does righteous mean? Right thinking, right awareness. You're thinking of the thing, you are aware of the thing you want to be instead of not being aware of the thing you don't want to be. Righteous, right? And that's why your steps are ordered. Because as within, so without. So if you don't like where you are right now, where do you want to be? You got to move because you can't stand still. You will either continue doing what you're doing or you will go forward and do the new thing. But choose one of them because you can't not move. You have to move. It is law, the law of vibration. Everything moves. So if that thing in your life, if you got a friendship in your life and you say, ugh, you're like, ugh, I don't know about this, it's questionable. What do you want that friendship to be like? You think you have to go outside and spray them down with the hose to get their attention? Nope. Experience in imagination what you would experience in that friendship if it changed. Why, Angela? Because When you start seeing it in your mind's eye, you get a feeling, right? You become that feeling. Oh, and what happens to you? You get what you what are. You get what you are. So then your friend on the outside changes, not because they changed, but because you changed. Really? Yep, you changed. You ever hollered at somebody? Why I gotta tell you the same thing all the time? You never listen. How come you never change? Because you keep seeing them the same way. That's why you can talk to your blue in the face and nobody will change unless you see them differently. So who has to change? In order for you to see them differently, you have to change your perspective. And they rise to the occasion because they cannot not rise to the occasion. You are seeing them in a whole new light. You've planted a whole new seed of them, so you have to reap the new them. You see? So you see your work. Remember what your faith is. If I do this, if I experience this thing in my imagination, I know I'll become it. And I always reap what I've sown. I will always get what I am. So I'm going to do this. That's your faith. That is your faith. And then you do the work. What is the work? Experience in imagination. What you would experience in reality if you were the man or the woman you said you wanted to be. Now do you grasp faith and work? You see how faith and work go together? Because they are cause and effect. Can't escape it. It is what it is. It is principle. And that's why it is ordered and not chaotic. I trust it is making sense. I trust that it is making sense for you. And yes, ray of sunshine, you tell him, you say, honey, you could be sitting on the potty, but you could be pruning the roses in the backyard. You could be. If that's what's going to bring a sense of freedom to you, begin to sense the freedom wherever you are. And nobody can come along and shake you from your freedom. Do you know why? Because it's not what's within George that matters to bring about a change in you. It's what's within you that brings about the change. So George can have an opinion all George wants. I'm sorry if your name is George. I'm not coming for you. I'm just saying. But George can want what he wants all day long. But as long as you have that image within you and you have experienced in imagination what you would experience in reality, ain't nothing can move you. Why can't it move you? Because you know that if you experience it in imagination, it has to become a reality. You know that. And how do you know? Because you practice it every chance you get. That's why you know. Because if you didn't practice, it would be new to you and you would say, I'm not so sure about that. But once you start practicing and you see the evidence of what you practice, oh, what happens to you? Your confidence grows. And what? Your faith grows. Why does it grow? Because you keep practicing it and you keep seeing the result. So I'm telling you today, do not take my word for it. Practice it for yourself so you can prove it to you. You don't have to prove it to me. You have to prove it to you. You're the one living in your shoes. You are the one living in your shoes, my beautiful friends. So if you find that your household is a little bit chaotic, what you want? You want peace? Well, then begin to experience peace in imagination. But what would that peace look like to you in reality? That's what you will experience in imagination. So if it looks like you coming home and the house is quiet and you're greeted with whatever, a hug and a kiss and a squeeze, hey, if that is what peace looks like in your house, because only you know what peace looks like in your house, right? So begin to experience peace in imagination, because then you become it. And what you become in your imagination is what you have to give shape and form to in the outside world. So don't pick up the phone and call your mama. Mama, this man is on my nerves. He on my last. I'm about to hit him with my shoe, mama. Oh. And fellas, don't call your mama. Mama, you were right. She is a hag. She nagging me all day. Don't call your mama. Your mama is not your imagination. Your imagination does not take an opinion. It takes a directive from you. It does not take an opinion from an outside source. Because if you allow it to do that, you now live in chaos. Because internally you want something, but yet you are experiencing in imagination something else, something contradictory, something contrary. And it's not what you want that you get, is it? But do you see what we do? You see what we do? You call up your bestie, you say, girl, my boss, if I see him outside, I'm running down in my car. He's a jerk. What do you want when you go to work? What kind of atmosphere do you want when you go to work? Well, begin to experience that in imagination, what you want to experience in reality in the office. Well, how long do I need to do that? Well, how long have you been complaining? Want that more than you want to complain. Because the complaining is natural, right? So you're already complaining. You're the complainer. So now you've got to be the peace longer than you've been the complaining. So now that's up to you how long it takes. Are you committed to the peace that you want to experience in imagination so you can experience it in reality? Are you committed to that? Well, if you are committed to it, do it. And it doesn't matter how long you have to do it. I hear you. It doesn't matter how long you have to do it, because you will know what? You will know, as long as I experience this in imagination, it has to come to fruition. And you will do it until you see it and you can say, I did that. I brought that change about. That's how long it takes. Because I know that's what you're asking. Yeah, but how long am I supposed to imagine? That's up to you. What you imagine now has to become natural to you. Because look at the thing you're presently imagining. You've imagined it so much, you already know what to say. You already know how to react and respond to it. It's natural to you because you've been doing it for so long. Whew. I hear you, sugar buns. I hear you. So I trust that today that makes sense. Ooh, good. I am not over time today. Hallelujah. Let us take a brief moment to welcome everyone into the space today. First, we'll start with Lil Bit because he's the loudest one in the joint. Hey, Lil Bit. He's here and he's in the closet. Ray of Sunshine, the better man. Miss Sonia, I already said your name. Relax. Miss Sonia, I see you. And for the others who are on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, I see you. Fan base who's in the house, kicking it with us today. Miss Crenshaw, Miss Cherry. Hello, Maggie, darling. Shea Butter isn't here today, too. Hey, Moon. KZ. Miss McQueen Flo Smiles. Flo Smiles got drumsticks in her PTR. I love you. Oracle Treehouse, I see you. Thank you all for being here on this lovely, lovely day. When you listen, before you even leave this space, remember what Neville says. Before you leave to go home, start practicing. Start practicing. What are you going to practice? What you want to experience in reality, you will rehearse and practice in your imagination. Ask, listen, if you ask, I hope I say her name right, Sha'Carri Richardson, you know, the little track diva. I shouldn't say little track diva because she's awesome. She's on the front of Vogue in her yellow dress. Yellow is it's the color of the who? Solar plexus, your power center, your I am, your core. That's the color her dress from Vogue magazine. And you don't think color has a significance? Color is a vibration. Everything moves. You understand? And she's on the front of Vogue. What kind of work do you think she does? What kind of work do you think she does? When she gets out, listen, before she gets out on the track, she's already run a race. Where did she run it? In her mind's eye, in her imagination. She's already crossed the finish line in her mind's eye. She knows how many strides she's got to take. I bet you. I'll put money on that because I know. So don't think that she gets out on the track and that's when she's running the race for the first time. She experiences in imagination what she would experience in reality on the track. You know, for the life of me, I can never do hurdles. I'm running how fast? And I got to remember to jump too? Hell no. I said, this isn't for me. And I never saw myself doing it. Thus, I never did hurdles. No thanks. That's not for me. Hurdles scared me way too much. And I saw this girl on the TV and she's doing her exercises. You know how you do the exercise? You walk up to the hurdle and you lift the leg and you go over. And it's this beautiful motion, right? Like, man, she made it look so good. I was like, dang, I want to do that. And I was like, no, I don't. Hurdles are not for me. But she made that shit look so beautiful. But where do you think she does it first? In her mind's eye. In her imagination is where she does it first. Over and over and over and over again. Any athlete. What do you think made Michael Jordan the greatest? Not that he was just on the court by himself as a youngster shooting hoops. Nope. He was on the court shooting hoops as a result of what he saw in his mind's eye. Cause and effect. As within, so without. That's why he was on the court. He didn't get on the court because he got on the court because. So him being on the court was the effect. And he saw in his imagination what he would be doing. You know how they say you can hear the crowd roar. You can hear the crowd. Where do you think you're hearing the crowd? In your imagination. So today, recognize that you are already doing this. This woman took 2 months to crochet her wedding dress. She said, I wouldn't advise it because it was a lot of work. She said, if you knew how many times I had to pull something out because it did not match what I saw in my head, I paused. I had to take so many stitches out because it did not match what was in my head. She didn't have a pattern drawn out anywhere. Where was the pattern? In her imagination. So when she sewed some pieces together, she goes, it doesn't look like what I have in my mind. So she pulled it out and she redid it until it matched. You see how you live life now? This is what I'm trying to convey to you today. That is how we live life, from inside out. Inside out. Bully term. I gotta stop because YouTube will come for me. I can't help it. Right? This is how we live, from the inside out. So if you don't have inside what you want to experience outside deliberately, why deliberately? Well, remember the woman with the dress. It didn't match. How did she know? Because she had a deliberate pattern in her mind's eye. When you are deliberate, you follow through with it, because you are the one doing it and you know that you're the one. But if you're not deliberate, you have no idea what pattern you're following. You don't have a clue. You're just going along following a pattern. And then you know how you know? Oh my God, why did that happen to me? Because you are following a pattern. You're following one. That's not deliberate. To be deliberate means you choose by experiencing in imagination what you would experience in reality. That is how you become deliberate. And that's the work that we do every single day. So, what are you going to do next time? What you going to do? When you get in your car, what are you going to do? What work are you going to see? What do you want to experience as you're driving? Oh, that's what I thought. You mean I can do it there? You are alive and you are doing things. So it stands to reason that it doesn't matter what you're going to do. Experience in imagination what you would experience in reality. How do you want your food to taste? Experience in imagination what you would experience in reality. How do you want your grocery store experience to go? Experience in imagination what you would experience in reality. You going out, you have a girls trip. You going out with the fellas? Experience in imagination what you would experience in reality. So when do you do this again? Oh, that's what I thought. Every day, all day. Every day, all day. The mundane things. What about big things? There are no big and small things. It's just a matter of what you want to experience in your life. You see, you would think for me it's a big deal to go out in the yard and take the rooster out. No, it's not. That's just my everyday life. To watch him bathing in the dirt. Lord help me. It's the cutest thing. I was like, child, what's wrong with you? He's out there just shaking. It's brilliant. You see, it doesn't matter what it is. It is your life. So it's important to you. So experience and imagination what you would experience in reality. You see, when you go out now, you're going to remember that, won't you? And when you remember it, you're going to start to do it, aren't you? Now, remember Neville Goddard said last night the woman couldn't really see a vivid scene. But here's what she did instead, because maybe you can't see it, right? But maybe your sense of feeling, your sense of touch, maybe that's stronger for you. So she sat in her bathtub and she said, something wonderful is happening to me now. And she said to Neville, that's what I said, but I didn't just say it. I felt that something wonderful was happening to me now. So maybe that's what you can do. It just depends on your personality. Some people are really great at visualizing. Others, they're really great at touch, taste, smell, sound. You just have to know who you are and your nuance. Right? If you can hear yourself cussing somebody out, well, then you're good at hearing. So then hear what you want to hear in imagination. So you see, it doesn't matter. So now when you go out, you're going to remember, experience in imagination what I want to experience in reality. Which reminds me of a container of milk, a stick of butter, and a loaf of bread. A container of milk, a stick of butter, and a loaf of bread. See? So what did the little girl do when she got to the grocery store? She saw her mother in her mind's eye, and her mother was saying to her, a container of milk, a stick of butter, and a loaf of bread. She experienced in imagination what she needed to do in reality. So you go out into the world today and tomorrow and the day after, all day, every day, you will remind yourself, wait a minute, you'll catch yourself when you're doing it. You'll catch yourself when you're having that inner conversation and you'll say, whoa, 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 is that what I want to experience in reality? Well, I better change. And then bam, you just done revision on the spot. Ow. And then you'll be all in my DMs talking to me all about it. Oh my God, you'll never believe what happened. I'll be like, oh, tell me more. I'll throw confetti for you. I'll throw confetti. So you see, I said I would throw confetti, not blowing a horn. Come on, man. How can you not love him? Oh my God, he's so cute. Anyway, that's where I will leave you this morning because, hey, Elohim is in the house. Hey. Well, yes, ray of sunshine. You're driving. What kind of driving experience do you want? Right? That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. And listen, and you know that today is a scorcher, right? And you say to yourself, ooh, I want to get in the shower. Just the thought of getting in the shower makes your body cool down. You're like, oh, that is nice. And you begin to experience the shower in imagination so that when you get in there, what's you going to say? Just as I thought it would be. See? This is what I'm trying to tell you. But you got to practice. And in your practicing, you are exercising your faith and doing the work simultaneously. I trust that it makes sense for you today and that you will get out there, right? And you will practice. You will experience in imagination what you would experience in reality. Right? And you do it and you do it and you do it well. You can pull an LL Cool J. Right? You can pull an LL Cool J, baby. We can walk in the state of LL Cool J. I'm doing it and doing it and doing it well. Right? That's what we're doing. We're living this life well. Walk with that mental attitude. And the next time you hear somebody say, oh my God, you have to totally like raise your vibration, you'll give them the side eye and say, do you even know what that means? I know what that means. Because I'm living my life like it's golden. I digress. Whew, y'all get me so fired up. Whew. Yes, Oracle Treehouse.
Okay, I just came across a meme. Y'all probably would see it where it says she's talking to her mother. Her mother's like, you chocolate you fear, love. And she says, okay, well, I'm so scared of $40 million. Oh my God. Like, can you elaborate? It sounds funny, but in a way, people probably think it's true or whatnot, but I think it's the funniest meme ever.
You have to send me that because I am totally curious now because it's true, right?
It's true. Okay. I'll continue.
Because it's what we do, and we do it so naturally. You can't do it unnaturally. You have to do it naturally. This is the part. Oh well, that's so natural. Yeah, it can only be natural. Because if it wasn't natural, it would be chaos. Listen, I'm coming for you. Don't worry. I'll come and I'll get you and I'll hold you for a little bit and spritz you. That you should see him hop away when I spritz him. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. I'm like, dude, I'm just spritzing you to keep you cool. Oh gosh, I. It's so mean to laugh, but he's so cute when he's trying to hop away. He moves real quick too, you know, with that leg. Uh-huh. My neighbors, they hear you. So hush, because I got the window open. But anyway, experience and imagination, right? Watch your step, Angela. You see? You think I'm somehow immune or exempt from this law? I'm bound more to it. Yes. I have to get up and make sure that I am in, for lack of a better phrase, alignment all day, every day. Why? Because everybody watching. This is what happens. Everybody's watching. Well, let me see what she's doing in her life. You see? That's what we do. People want to see, well, let me see if she's doing it first, so I'll do it. If you live your life like that, you'll always be second. Be first in your life. What does my experience have to do with yours? I have to get up and I have to do the work. You got to get up and you got to do the work. And if you're busy looking at how somebody else is working, then you can't, because the mind is only able to focus on one thing at a time. Even though we like to think we multitask, you can multitask, but what are you doing first? You can only do that. Oh? Oh.
I posted it to my page. I did send it to you in your DM. So I posted it to my page so y'all, everybody can see.
If you on fan base, you'll see it. Hey, I am looking forward to this. Let me tell you. But this is what I'm going to say to you. If you are busy looking at somebody else, you're only looking at them, but you're not doing the work. You cannot do the work vicariously through another. You've got to do your own work. Hey. You've got to do your own work, my beautiful friends. Because then when you do your own work, you can do your dance of joy and say, I did that. I did that. So that when the good, bad, indifferent shows up in your life, you can say, oh, look, I did that. And you say, but I know how to change it. And when you change it, you go, hey, I did that. See what happens to your faith now? That reminds me of Ironclad, when the Danish man says to James Purfoy, how's your faith now, Templar? And James Purfoy goes, come a little closer and I'll show you. Listen, let me tell you something, Linda. That's the best line that I've heard in a long time. How's your faith now, Templar? And he says, come a little closer and I'll show you. You see? I love you. And I look forward to seeing you. I don't know what the lecture is tonight, but I know Miss Marjorie suggested time to act last night. So we'll see what comes through the DMs today. Right? We'll see what comes through the DMs for what lecture. But be reminded, this morning when you hear the bowl and the bird song, what kind of day do you want? Maybe you don't know the type of day, but you know the type of feeling you would like to have instead. You know that one? Good. Can you feel it? I'm not asking you to think about the feeling. They're not the same. They're not the same. I want you to feel the type of day you want to have. Mm. Mm. Now, when you hear the bowl and possible bird song, you might be all worn out now. When you hear the bowl, allow the feeling of the day that you want to totally fill every single facet of your being. Let it fill you up. Immerse yourself in it. Like if you were in the shower on a really hot day in that nice cool water, and it just it runs over every crack and crevice of your body, and it feels cool to you. Yes? Oh, that's what you want to experience? Whew. Well then, as you hear the bowl, experience in imagination what you would experience in reality, and watch your day unfold to match. And when it does, my DMs are wide open. Okay? I'm already, let me see, can I throw some confetti on fan base? Hey, we don't have the confetti emoji. Wait, we do. Thanks, Flo Smiles. Oh my goodness. We got confetti. Wait, let me let me drop some confetti in the chat on YouTube and Facebook. See? Let's get the bull, y'all. Oh yeah. Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2. He gonna leave me hanging. 1. Thank you all for being here on this beautiful Wednesday. Yes, that's the day. It is Wednesday. Go forth and experience in imagination what you would experience in reality. And that is it. That is it, my beautiful friends. Rare sunshine. You have a great day as well, my darling. A great day as well. So much love to each and every one of you, and thank you again for being here. Much, much love to you.